Hey guys, Brian Karp, Sales Giant, Literary Millionaire, Mailbox Money. Today I'm going to try to answer a question that someone reached out to me and they said, Sales Giant, why did you get into real estate almost 15 years ago? So the real reason and kind of the story why I got into real estate 15 years ago, it was not to become a real estate agent. It was not to run the number one team in Long Island. It was not for any other reason than to become the inside player, right? I wanted to have access to what I have right over here, which is the computer, which would give me access to all of the data, right? And as an average person, you only get so much information off Zillow and Property Shark and Redfin and all those websites. So by becoming a real estate agent at first, I was able to get a lot of inside information. And that was really the sole reason why I got my license, because when I got licensed about 15 years ago, I had one obsession, and it was for financial freedom. And the only way that I realized about financial freedom, the only way I realized that I could obtain financial freedom was going to be make money to buy rental properties, right? So there was never in a million years that I ever think that I was going to be sitting here with this team and this brokerage and this business. It was literally just to have access to buy rental properties. What I started to learn once I got my license, I wasn't even looking for the money. I was just looking for the access to the rentals. And then I realized very quickly after purchasing my first house, which I wasn't even licensed to purchase my first house, right? And the agent who sold to me is still in the business, right? If anyone could figure out who that is, I'll take you out to lunch. And she was awesome and did a great job. But really, I realized, okay, once I started getting the access and looking for properties, I realized, holy cow, you don't have enough money to start buying rentals. So then I started selling a few houses, right? In the first year, I literally only sold 3 houses to my friends and family. But it was more income coming into the household. Plus I had my regular job, which we could do a whole video on for a day about how as a union construction worker, I got stories for years about that. So I first year sold 3 houses, friends and family. The next year was 10, the next year was 20. But I took all that income and I ended up purchasing our second rental house, right? And that's kind of how the whole story goes. But during that first few years, I got an amazing free education, right? Because I started learning so much about the business, right? And so much about how value is determined and what neighborhoods and areas and hamlets and hoods, right? Those are like little sections of where I was going to start to buy my first rental. So when the opportunity came out for me to grab one, it was a much easier decision because I'm very OCD and I overthink a lot of things. So it was definitely a scary move to do it, but I was able to lean on all the education that I grabbed over the first few years by watching what sold and watching what listed, right? And I was a great steward to the information that I had off of MLSLI, which us brokers in Long Island call Stratus, right? And it's changed a few times, and now I think it's called One Key on that. So the whole thing kind of really evolved into what it was. And then another reason why it was great to have a license was I was able to see, once I built a business doing 50, 100 deals a year, there was so much business coming in, I was able to really see any good opportunities, right? And 99% of the time, I never buy anything that is brought to me to sell, because for the Karp family to buy anything to either fix and flip, which we really don't do many, a few a year, or to buy and hold, I would like it at a discount, right? I would like it at a wholesale price, right? Below market value. And generally when someone comes to me, they want market value or more. And that's what I bring to the table, right? Is the exposure, the energy, and then the 15 years of advice and the thousands and thousands of homes where I've seen every angle, right? There's really nothing that's going to surprise me or I haven't seen before, or that I don't have the phone to pick up to get the right person to give the advice. But I digress. Where was I going with this? I was kind of saying I have purchased some houses from my clients, but they're few and far between. But it's nice to see a steady deal flow coming through at 100 deals, 150, 200 deals a year, because you really get a good idea of what's on the pulse. Because as an agent who's just doing a few deals a year, you don't really know what's happening in the market. And the nice thing about the business that I've built and I've been blessed with is there's so much inventory flying through. I'm really able to see in real time what's happening, opposed to an agent who's doing 3 or 4 deals. They don't know what is happening in August, September, October of this exact year. They can look back at what's sold and talk about comps and what the competition is, but they don't really know what's going on. And then long story short, I needed to find a vehicle to create money, right? Enough money to feed our family, because Jess stays home, but then enough money to be able to invest in real estate, because that's been the obsession for myself since I graduated from Stony Brook. It was financial freedom. And the only way that I understood to build financial freedom was to build a mechanism that was going to bring money in, rain or shine, every single month. It was the only thing that made me feel comfortable. And then I think one of the reasons why the business just exploded was people saw, okay, this guy is literally obsessed with residential real estate in Suffolk County and parts of Nassau County and the boroughs from time to time. But like, there's no one more hyper obsessed with the Suffolk County real estate market. And then especially with the neighborhoods that I sell the most houses in. I think they just saw me as someone who they wanted to align with because of my market knowledge. And I really think that's the whole way the business evolved for me. So to bring everyone back, the whole reason I got the license was just for inside access. But then it really checked a lot of boxes for me, because I love advising people who never sold a house before, only sold 2 or 3, because of the experience I have of selling hundreds of homes a year and then buying, right, 3 or 4 homes a year for my family for the last 15 years. So it really all evolved itself. And I love the action, right? That's what I need as an ex-athlete and someone who played Division I sports at a high level. I need the action, right? And I've realized that over the last few years is I love the action. I love the big wins, the losses, right? Another win, another loss. And then I just love the unseen hours. I love that, I put all this work in. No one sees me, in my office working early. No one sees me late at night, but they do see, what the business has evolved to. So kind of a long rant, but I just wanted to give everyone a little idea of why I got into the business. I really feel that this is the greatest business in the entire world, right? For someone who today reads on a 3rd or 4th grade reading level, I'm dyslexic. People called me illiterate my whole life. I was the dumb kid. For me to be in the position I am today is just the biggest blessing. And it's so much fun. And I just have such a passion for what's going on in the market every single day. But me being so involved has just given me that knowledge. And unless you're hiring an agent that's super involved, or unless you're going to become an agent that's super involved, or an investor super involved, you just need the action. You need the deal flow coming in daily so you could really see, how active that market is. All right. So I'm your boy. I'm the sales giant. I probably should have started at the beginning of the video, but I'm an associate broker at Coldwell Banker. I'm a real estate investor, buy and hold investor, developer, anything to do with Suffolk County real estate. That is my obsession.